Before I get started with the story, let me give a shout out to my follower, my subscriber, Craig J on Twitter, for sending me this story to me. And it's another one of those stories where if you have to go get a barf bag, do it now. So this picture shows a woman by the name of Angeline Lodice, or Lodice, spelled Lodic, who is an ex-stripper, and she was accused of violating a boy and a dog. So we're talking a minor and a four-legged furry animal, both of which I'm not surprised happened. And this is the thing I keep talking about. They are going to bury this story. Some of you probably wouldn't even know about this story even existing if I didn't talk about it. And I wouldn't know about it if Craig didn't send it to me. But it says that she's landed 20 years behind bars. I guess that's a silver lining somewhere, but the details is within the text. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article and see what else we can find out. A New Orleans ex-stripper who was accused of violating a 4-year-old boy. 4. This boy isn't even 5 yet, and she's violating him at the age of 4. And I don't even know who the boy is. I don't know who the boy belongs to, but at the end of the day, it's still a sick act. And having sex with a dog has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. Angeline Lodice of Old Jefferson pled guilty Monday to forcible violation, possession of child pornography involving a juvenile under 13, and sexual battery. Lodice, who deputies said previously worked as a stripper at a Bourbon Street club in New Orleans, had been jailed since her October 2014 arrest after the boy's father contacted sheriff's officials. So she's been in jail since 2014. So this did not just happen. She's been in jail since 2014. It is now 2021. So she's been in jail for 7 years so far. So she's been sentenced to 20. They're probably going to give her time served, which means she only has 13 years left. The boy's father alleged that Lodice's cousin gave him videos and photographs showing her performing oral sex on the 4-year-old sometime between late 2012 and October 2014. She was indicted by a grand jury in February 2015. When grilled by investigators, Lodice confessed to being the woman in the images and the videos, but claimed she had been drugged at the time. I guess any lie will do, I guess. Excuse me. She also insists that she could not identify the child in the disturbing images and clips an arrest affidavit shows. Another video reviewed by authorities showed Lodice having sex with a dog, according to the arrest affidavit. Jefferson Parish prosecutors ultimately didn't pursue charges since the incident occurred in St. Landry Parish. I don't know why. They should have did it anyway, considering the nature and the act of which she committed. Keep in mind, this woman violated a boy and a dog. Was she drunk when she did the dog thing too? As a part of the plea deal, of course she got a plea deal, the aggravated violation count against Lodice was reduced to forcible violation. She faced a mandatory life sentence if found guilty of the former charge. A judge ultimately sentenced her to 20 years for forcible violation as well as possession of child pornography. What a reduction. She went from getting sent to jail for the rest of her life to a mere 20 years. So she's 30? I think they said she's 30. I forgot how old she's in her 30s. So she'll be closer to 50 by the time she gets out of jail. The judge also sentenced Lodice, who must register as a sex offender, that's rare to happen with women, to 10 years for sexual battery, which she'll serve concurrently with no parole or probation. In 2015, a lawyer for Lodice said she planned to plead not guilty by reason of insanity and would undergo psychiatric and psychological evaluations. Y'all gotta excuse me if it sounds like there's kind of like breaks in between me talking. It's nothing wrong with your audio. It's nothing wrong with my mic. I just have the hiccups right now, so you gotta forgive me. But this woman is trifling. Point blank period. There's no way that you can spin it or flip it or however you want to put it. She's trifling. And what makes this more disturbing than the act in which she committed against a child, which the article didn't state who the child belonged to. Otherwise, they would have said the child was hers if the child was hers. But the fact that she did this to a child and a dog and then tried to blame it on her being intoxicated, that's even more disturbing than the act itself, because that lets you know she's not trying to take accountability for her actions. I don't know anybody personally who has gotten intoxicated who said, by the way, I want to go violate this minor, or I'm going to go violate this dog, or any animal. I've never heard that before. No one's ever said it. I don't know anybody personally who's done it. So for her to use it was a me being drunk thing, no, that's not going to fly. And then they tried to get her to plead by way of insanity. They were trying to do anything they can do to get this woman off. The fact of the matter is, insane or not, and she is a bit of a psycho to do this, she still did it. That child will never be the same. That child will never be the same. And I think they said she performed oral sex on a 4-year-old. And it had videos and photographs of her doing it. So she was keeping I guess you can say, a file of this. That's even more sick. And they said this dates back to 2012 to 2014. It's just that in 2014 is when they finally got her and put her in jail, and that's where she's been ever since. And now she's about to finish the rest of her time. But the shocking part for me is the fact that they made her register as a sex offender. That's very rare that they'll have a woman be on that sex offenders list, because a lot of times they'll let them skate on by and they don't have to register. And you can tell something is off with her. Look at her eyebrows. When was the last time you seen women wear their eyebrows that thin? That's something I haven't seen since the early 2000s, maybe the late 90s. I'm not sure. It's 2021. 2021, and she got her eyebrows looking like that. So she has unhinged written all over her. And she was an ex-stripper. She had men constantly throwing money to her every night. Grown, over the age of 18 men, but she wants to perform oral sex, on a 4-year-old boy. And mess with a dog. And he said been doing it since 2012 to 2014 when they finally caught her. So she's been doing this on a reoccurring basis. It wasn't a one and done for her. But I'm glad that she's where she's at. But personally, that life in prison would look a whole lot better than 20 years. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments.